Contestants on Jeopardy have caused an uproar on the internet after no one could guess the answer to a $200 clue. Not only was the clue straightforward, but it was actually part of the beloved game show's history. Keep reading to see what the clue was and why fans are so upset. On Monday night, Amy Hummel scored her fourth win on Jeopardy, reaching a total of $85,974. The doctor from Milwaukee, Wisconsin went up against Kirsten Lundquist and Ferdinand Persenti. Before she won the episode, Amy and the other contestants encountered a clue that none of them could answer. What surprised fans was that the clue was literally part of Jeopardy! History. Underneath the category, greater than, less than, or equal to, for $200, the clue asked, one statute mile is equal to this number of feet. The three contestants froze. Only Kirsten buzzed in to answer. She responded, 1,600, which was incorrect. After several more moments of silence, Ken Jennings piped up with the right answer of 5,280. Although Jeopardy! Fans often groan over contestants missing top-row clues, this one was especially painful. This clue had a significant meaning to the show and its fans. Viewers to Reddit to air their grievances about the contestants' inability to answer this iconic clue. On Tuesday, one Reddit user started a thread titled, 5,280? 5,280? Come on. Oof. Adding, wow, that's a bad stand and stare. Not only is it a very basic fact, but it is also the very first Jeopardy clue. The person continued to rant about the game show's origin story. Apparently, the very first question ever asked on Jeopardy was, how many feet are in a mile? At the time, Merv Griffin was looking for an idea for a new game show. As he got on an airplane with his wife Julian, he started talking to her about his dilemma. She suggested a trivia-related program. Rigging scandals back in the 1950s made it impossible for Merv to pitch that kind of show. The network wouldn't accept it. So Julian suggested that he pitch the show differently. Rather than asking contestants questions, they would be given the answer. Then they have to come up with the answer. At first, Merv Griffin didn't understand the concept. So Julian said, okay, the answer is 5,280. After thinking for a moment, the question is, how many feet in a mile? They went back and forth like this with answers and questions for the entire flight in Jeopardy! Was born. Other fans were equally as surprised that none of the contestants answered the clue correctly, expressing their shock in the comments section. When the 5,280 answer came up, and one contestant gave a hard-to-believe response and the other two stonewalled it, I almost choked. Oh my gosh, it's the first Jeopardy! Clue ever. One person commented. Kinda surprised Ken didn't comment, but it probably would have been hard to do without insulting the three, another viewer pointed out. A third person chimed in, the only thing I can think of is maybe the statute mile thing threw them. Maybe the contestants were worried it was something like a nautical mile and not 5,280 feet. For decades, Jeopardy! Has been one of the most iconic television quiz shows, captivating audiences with its unique format and challenging questions. It's a show that has celebrated knowledge in all forms, from the trivial to the profound, with its famous answer and question format becoming a hallmark of pop culture. However, even a show as revered as Jeopardy! Isn't immune to its own slip-ups, and the internet recently exploded over one such moment. A missed basic clue that sparked a frenzy among fans, contestants, and viewers alike. The clue in question, which seems simple to many viewers, was surprisingly missed by the contestants, leading to widespread reactions across social media platforms. The moment quickly went viral, with many fans taking to Twitter, Reddit, and other forums to discuss what they perceived as a major blunder on the part of the Jeopardy! Contestants. The incident not only sparked a debate about the level of difficulty of Jeopardy! Questions, but also raised questions about the show's evolving format and how it connects with its audience. This frenzy is a perfect example of how a seemingly minor slip can snowball into a massive online discussion, highlighting both the enduring popularity of Jeopardy! And the pressures contestants face on live television. The moment that sparked the frenzy, it all began with a question in the science category during a typical round. The clue, phrased as a straightforward definition, read, "This gas makes up approximately 21% of Earth's atmosphere." For most Jeopardy! Viewers, the answer would be a simple one: oxygen. It's a fundamental fact that is taught in elementary school science classes around the world, making it almost universally known. Yet, when the contestants were faced with the clue, they struggled. The first contestant buzzed in but hesitated, unable to provide an answer. The second contestant also remained silent, and finally, the third contestant seemed equally perplexed. The clock ticked down, and the Jeopardy! Host, Ken Jennings, in his role as a guest host, was left to reveal the correct answer. What is oxygen? The crowd's reaction was a mixture of confusion and disbelief. The contestants, clearly stunned by their own inability to answer such a fundamental question, looked uncomfortable. The audience, however, was quick to respond with an immediate outpouring of surprise on social media. It was a moment that could have been dismissed as an anomaly, an unfortunate lapse in concentration under pressure. But, as the internet quickly demonstrated, it wasn't just a trivial blunder, it was a massive talking point that struck a chord with viewers. The internet explosion. Within minutes of the episode airing, social media was ablaze with reactions. Fans flooded Twitter, Reddit, and Facebook with messages of shock, bewilderment, and amusement. Hashtags like #Bicyclu and #JeopardyFail trended as users expressed their disbelief that such a basic fact had stumped the contestants. One Twitter user wrote, "Did I just watch a Jeopardy! Contestant failed to get the oxygen clue? I feel like I need to reassess my life choices." Another posted, "How is it possible to miss the most basic clue on Jeopardy! 21% of the Earth's atmosphere, oxygen, come on." Meanwhile, the Jeopardy! Subreddit became a hive of activity, with hundreds of comments dissecting the moment, many pointing out how a mistake like this was almost unheard of on the show. Some users defended the contestants, acknowledging the pressure of being on national television and the mental block that could occur under such intense scrutiny. Others, however, took the opportunity to humorously call out the contestants for missing such an easy question, with memes and jokes about the situation quickly circulating. The incident, which occurred in a brief 30-second window during the episode, quickly dominated online discussions, causing viewers to flood message boards, comment sections, and news articles with their own takes on what had happened. It wasn't just about the missed clue, it was about how something so seemingly simple could have been forgotten in the heat of the moment, creating a larger conversation about knowledge, expectations, and the pressures of televised quizzes. The reaction of the contestants. In the aftermath of the missed clue, the contestants who were involved in the moment took to social media to address the controversy. While they were undoubtedly aware of the internet's reaction, their responses were measured and gracious. They acknowledged the mistake with humility, laughing along with the audience and apologizing for their lapse in memory. One contestant, Sarah Jennings, no relation to host Ken Jennings, commented on her personal Twitter account, "I'm going to be honest, when the clue came up, my mind went blank. You know the feeling when something so obvious just escapes you? It happened in front of millions of people, but I'm not going to let it define me." Her tweet was met with an outpouring of support from fans who empathized with the pressure of competing on Jeopardy! And understood that, in such an intense environment, even the most basic facts can slip through the cracks. Sarah's honesty resonated with many viewers who were quick to reassure her that everyone makes mistakes. Blake Thompson, another contestant from the episode, also took to Instagram to share his thoughts. "I was shocked when I missed the oxygen question. It's embarrassing, but it's part of the experience. Jeopardy! Is intense, and sometimes your brain just freezes. Thank you for all the support. I'm looking forward to doing better next time." Their responses helped humanize the moment and remind the audience that Jeopardy! Contestants are under immense pressure. Despite the humorous reactions online, many fans appreciated the contestants' candor and their ability to laugh off the situation. The broader conversation, is Jeopardy! Getting easier? While the internet frenzy focused on the specific incident, the larger question remained, was Jeopardy! becoming too easy for its contestants? Or had this moment simply been a fluke? Some fans argued that the show's difficulty level had been dropping in recent years. They pointed to instances where clues in lower value categories seemed to be more straightforward than in the past, with more basic general knowledge questions being asked, like the oxygen clue. Others argued that this was just a momentary lapse and that the show still maintained a high standard for its contestants. "There's no way this is a trend," one Reddit user posted. "But it does make you think, are we lowering the standards for the show? I miss the tough Jeopardy we used to have." On the other hand, some pointed out that Jeopardy had always balanced a mix of difficult and easy clues to keep the game dynamic. "It's always been part of the show's charm," another fan responded. The contestants are expected to know a wide range of topics, from obscure history facts to basic science knowledge. One mistake doesn't change the level of the game. Regardless of opinions on the difficulty, the controversy surrounding the missed clues sparked a debate about the evolving nature of Jeopardy and the expectations placed on its contestants. Some speculated that perhaps the rise of online trivia games and smartphone apps had led to a shift in what viewers expect from the show, with people becoming more accustomed to quick, bite-sized trivia than the depth of knowledge Jeopardy traditionally required.